here with F40 AI GTM. Of this talk series, several months ago, we GTM next few years within Goda. We also bring in pretty seasoned, growth marketing leaders who again how they are transforming go-to-market companies. Basically, happy to bring on, they with me.
Hey Mani, how are you? Thanks for having me here, and thanks for everyone who has joined.
So, this the first time I heard about this, really new is to rethink. That's how I see it. Rethink traditional websites and build, what WordPress and all these different tools. So you come up with this, I think, really interesting website conversation. But maybe some content. Why don't we share the just about yourself, Pixelesq, you, and to get going building a business.
Yeah. Thanks, Mani, again. Thanks for the intro. And yeah, just a quick starter, if you may. Like, I think I remember the first compliment you gave me. I would rather work with someone who knows what they're doing. So, I mean, that's just to kick off and give you the background of what I've done for the last 14 years, right? Like, I've been living, building websites and maintaining and running multiple recommendation engines and whatnot at marketing platforms at top companies like HP, HPE, Micro Focus, and been part of the enterprise GTM, if you may, where we had like tons of tools, tons of stacks, and tons of redoing websites and building thought leadership pages and whatnot. And I have been in a unique position where I think I've gone through 4 mergers, if you may, like HP became HPE and Micro Focus. So we had to almost rebuild the entire site every 2 years, right? So that actually gave me a good learnings, if you may, where we have experimented with tons of these tools, be it WordPress, Webflow, and all led to something where we built internal systems which would help us do this at scale. And now with whole advent of AI, I think it changed the complete game of how you can think about website as a GTM engine, if you may, not just a typical website builder, not just a place where you have information, but now that where high intent leads can land and actually convert. Right? So that's
absolutely exciting for us when I first learned about what you're trying to do. So buying right person who and that's all about journey, behavior. The notion of insight CMS has is what we know about the prospect and the buyer connecting parts. Ours got me excited. So you did have when I come about rethinking things like typical add-on people put on the web part. They come in or kind of think the search engine like a city GPT, our made a good place. Build a native website builder. I know early in your journey of need to. Can you help us understand? We'll run some questions through.
Yeah.
Who do you think are the targets for a solution?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, perfect. And I'll just like prefix it with what we have been preface it with what we've been building in some sense. So just a quick intro of what Pixelesq is. It's essentially a AI native website builder. Think of it like Cursor for marketing, right? Where what Cursor did for developers, helping them contextual suggestions, tab to complete, things like that. Imagine that for marketers, right? Something which we have built ground up for marketers where they don't need developers and designers. They don't have to rely on these to even make changes or run campaigns and things like that. So that has been the driving force of why we've been doing this and how we are building this. And now to your question, right? Like whom are we building this for? As I said, it's purely for marketers, and there is very few tools which are built for marketers in some sense in the whole martech. And the website builder is the most core one, and that is your first GTM, I would say, artifact, if you may. And so it's built for marketing teams who want to scale, who want to show up in ChatGPT, who want to show up in Perplexity, who want to be available in search engine optimizations, who want to rank high, who want to, you know, but still find it very hard for them to go and make these changes, run campaigns and things like that, where they're still relying on, time-consuming dev tasks, time-consuming design tasks, and still not very great with what comes out. They're still relying on, tons of tools which they have to still piece together and pay money for and still not have the same returns. So that has been our ICP, I would say, the marketing teams and anyone who's managing and maintaining websites and who want their websites to scale. And that is mid market. And yeah.
Are you working more with customers, mid market customers? Who are you working with as you are building this solution?
I think that has continuously would evolve more, and it you always don't start off with what ICP you want to target versus what ICP gets interested in some sense. But what has happened is I think we moved on from SMBs to more mid market and little like lower enterprise, if you may, because that's where we see the maximum pain. Because websites is not like a typical one-time build, right? Like it's something which you continuously maintain, which you continuously have to tweak and update, so that it shows up better. You have like it's almost like a marketing thing, which you have to continuously evolve. And we want to target someone who understands these and who is already stuck with the current platforms and which doesn't help them grow, and they've outpaced them. So that's where we have seen a good return. If I mean like return as in good interest, like marketing teams immediately love our product and they see what value we bring them. It's twofold, right? Like one, what they can do on the platform and what the platform helps them do as a website, like as a performant website and stuff. So yeah, it's twofold, and that's where we've seen marketing teams convert and really love our product.
People like you said, this can be way better than what it is.
Yeah.
I think you set out to basically think. I know with I was also been someone having fun with, but handling I've been going back and forth and trying to figure that out. Do you want people to view what the new site looks like, behind the scenes, and show how you really done traditional website building, how AI enabled work than your traditional website builder?
Great. Yeah, awesome. So I mean that I wanted to reveal that as a good surprise, but let's get started irrespective. So couple of things just to show you, and I think where we started off was essentially first where Amitabh was facing issues with like updating the current website, keeping it current, adding new pages, adding new campaigns, and this is just like a high level of what we will go through. And I just wanted to also show you a few other customers who have migrated to our platform, and you'll see the speed of the site, and you'll see how they don't look like they're vibe coded and they're properly built out sites, and you'll see it's not just like a small site, right? Like you have tons of pages and you have tons of images, all optimized, all very highly ranking, and you see how fast the site is. Um, I would show you
Mhm.
a couple of the other ones. So let's say I'll show the Kwanzoo one last, but let's say the idea spring. Like so here again, going back to what we were doing is we were also helping their portfolio companies. So this has been few investor companies, and like, be it Hesperian Ventures, be it Iyer Spring, and a couple of other travel websites, if you may. And you'll see they continuously want to update and take a. And this is one more, just to give you a variety of sites we've built and which are built on our platform. And now Kwanzaa itself, what you would immediately notice is we have revamped. It's not just a migration, if you may, because that's what most of the companies would do. But let's quickly go back to your site. And what you will see is here each of this is not very well laid out. It's very like content heavy but not clearly laid out with respect to what value it provides, and all of this is something which I don't want to go into in detail, but let's quickly see how the new website is and what the differences are, right? Like, so for example, let's say here the whole structured content is very different, and how we have rethought about the product pages and how we have surfaced what is important right above, and each of these screenshots with very value add definition of what features it provides for each thing. And again, it has been a great learning about the Kwanzaa itself, and be very happy to. I mean, that gives you insight about what each business does, and at every level, right? So this has been great, and what you would see is it's properly structured across, and even the GTM talks which we are going through, and this is one of the other ones where currently it's just a link to the individual pages, and there are no individual pages, right? Like we just have like one thing and it just goes to the site page. But we have rethought all of these where each of these transcript is translated into key takeaways and who the guests are, what the key topics which were discussed. So all of this gives Google or any of the other search engines or LLMs a little more context around what your site does, because that's what is very crucial currently, at least. Same thing we have done for your solution pages, your even the glossary, right? Like, so if you go deep into glossary, currently what you'd see in your current site is all of them are like just like individual terms. And again, I'm not setting an example, but just to give you a way we have transformed all of this into something which totally makes sense. For example, let's say if I look into any of this, you'll see a very good detailed about each term, how it works, and what use cases it covers. And we've done that for across all the glossary items, right? Like, and they rank really well in LLMs. So just to now get back to what, and we use our own product. I think that tells a lot about like how much we rely on it and how good we want to make it. And you'll see the entire UI UX. I think that's the fundamental difference. What we have tried to make it, the dashboards, the way editors have always felt very overwhelming for marketing teams to go and initially like do any of these changes. I think that's where we wanted to build something which is really AI native, not just something where you have a chatbot and you can just like do one time generations and stuff. But what you would see is how it is built for uh, really actually editing and building out websites which are scalable, not just like one time generations. You see all the pages like right here, and it mimics like email where you can see how it looks on the phone, on the tablet, on the desktop right here, and you can preview every page right here. But let's say if you want to edit any of this, right? Like, there are two options. One, you can obviously ask our agent to go and like create a new page right here, add some context, be it, you can actually attach a file. Let's say if you want to create a new blog or a new case study, it's all right here. But let's go back to just to show you what we've done very differently, even at page level, right? So editing is very easy. All I have to do is just like double click and I'll get to the edit screen. And here, what you would notice is everything is straightforward for you to just click, and you will see it's right here and it's all live for you to edit. But let's say if you want to add a new section,
Ah,
right? Like, and each of this is very customizable, but you'll never see code. That's the beauty about it. Even though it looks very professional and stuff, you can still change every aspect of it, and it's all grounded with your brand guidelines and design tokens. But where does AI come in is here, right? For example, let's say I can just click here, magic add. It'll automatically figure out what would be a good layout here, what would be good content based on the content above and below and what else is present on the page. And also it is deeply rooted with your ICP, right? Like what makes sense for your site, whom you're targeting, and you'll see like it makes sense. It automatically pulled up the right testimonial and stuff, and we can do a lot better, right? Like for example, let's say, and each of this is again editable right here. You can change everything, so you don't have to again learn code, or you don't have to go back and uh, make it. And everything, whatever it generates is always responsive across, so you don't have to worry about those pieces. And the entire technical SEO is taken care. What I mean by that is what should be H1, what should be H2 across the site is all built into the platform. It's not something which you have to again have a separate accessibility reports or none of that, right? Like everything is built in. And publishing is as easy as just saving and hitting publish. That means the page is live, right? Like no other deployments, no linking to GitHub, none of that. It's all right here. And same thing with your SEO, right? Again, you don't have to bolt on new tools or new ways to figure out what the SEO is, including the JSON-LE schema and structured data. All of it is something which we have used fine-tuned models to go and like create these dynamically, so that, because this is again very crucial for both SEO and AEO. And AEO is nothing but like a subset of SEO. And what we also do is, how you can repurpose the content of each page into different social platforms whenever you want to share. Something which we are still working on and making it better. So this is just part of the pages, right? Like let's say if you want to go into forms, let's say creating a new form typically has always taken more than a week or 2 weeks for at large enterprises. It takes more than a month to link it to any CRM and stuff. But what if I could just say, let's say if I want to create a book a call form, right? I'm just hitting submit here, and it'll automatically suggest what would be the right fields for the form. And again, all of this is deeply rooted with your ICP and what you can suggest and edit. So for example, let's say you see all of the things right here, and I can edit any of this easily and just double clicking and editing. And any fields which I don't want, I can just like remove them by unticking. And as soon as I click this button, it takes less than a second to get the entire form, right? Like again, this takes easily weeks, and I've done this day in, day out for multiple years. So I know this feels like a magic for me myself. So I can imagine how the marketing teams would love this. So this is one again very crucial, and this form integrates with any CRM you have, be it HubSpot, be it Attio or Salesforce across. So that's just forms, and we have like bunch of other things where all of this is built into the platform, where we don't want something again to be bolted on, something you have to integrate with, and we have typical other integrations which we'll get back to. But what you'll see is this is what it is based on, and this is dynamically generated and maintained across whenever you add new content and stuff. So what you'll see is your target personas. And why this is important is because not having context in current tools across is the actual gap, where everyone is generating content individually. They don't understand what the pages have and what other things should be. And what ends up happening is you generate AI slop, right? Like the entire content is just like one random content post or something. But here, whatever you see is all based on that ICP, and the entire content is based for humans, right? Like it's not just for bots. Uh, so that's one unique thing, which is again very differentiated. What the other piece, again, like a couple of other things we have built into the platform is, the enterprise search, be it SEO optimization, right? Like everything, as I already showed you, the robots text, the localization, review workflows, everything which is again needed usually for maintaining your and running your website. And one more very crucial thing is this, right? Like where every time you publish content, we automatically let many of these search engines know that this content is updated. Which again is a very manual process, and you don't have to wait for LLMs to come and index your site, something which is built into the site for every single page. So this has been a major, differentiator for us, where we immediately start seeing the pages which are created already started ranking in the search engines and stuff. So yeah, that's a very quick, and I would love to take any questions if you have. But okay, maybe one last thing here. This is again very crucial. Like the whole digital asset management is entirely a tool and entirely a different integration, if you may. But what we have done is every time you update an image, we automatically tag it with, using our vision models. We automatically tag it with the nice description and stuff, which we use it to recommend the assets across whenever you're creating any page or editing any page. So, example, let's say if I'm right here, or let's say if I want to add a new new section, right? Like it's as easy as just dropping it here, and I can still use AI to generate the content. I'll stop that, but I can click here, and what you will see is AI automatically suggests based on what content is around it, what makes sense here from your own assets. So to power this recommendation engine is again why we needed that asset tagging and stuff. And all of this is, imagine the whole recommendation engine is working for you while doing the site, and the same recommendation engine can be used for visitors for us to do hyper personalization down the line once we understand the visitor intent and what they are doing on the site and what they've done on the site for us. So yeah, and you always have AI bot for you to make any changes if you don't want to go and manually do any of this. But each of this is very customizable, where you can easily like move things around, and it'll always stick to your brand. It'll always stick to your design guidelines. Yeah,
I think almost like you've got too much that's
yeah, yeah. Something which we wanted to
almost
build
like
it into as part of one platform, not something which you have to again bolt on.
yeah. So that's why as you're talking, I'm just listening.
Yeah,
There are
yeah,
so many site builders
yeah,
and you built in, which
yeah,
is say native. Take people, I think, sometimes to even get their head up.
yeah,
Okay, this is different. This is different.
yeah.
You've covered different aspects about uh, all of that persona. That itself, I know the
Yeah.
persona built
Yep.
and on the web almost to me and
Exactly.
program to say, you know what, this and
Yeah.
this makes and this visual
Yep.
makes sense. Context, I mean, all of that we
Yep.
think about.
Yep. It is. I mean, that's what I want to believe, and that's why I feel like we are very uniquely positioned than any other
Yeah,
typical, website builders, or even like the new vibe code builders, if you may, like Lovable and Fold. We are just yeah,
yeah. So the thing was, you mentioned
yeah,
ACO, GE, the fact that we when we're going to refresh.
yeah,
Now, a lot of the folks that are advising companies on COG or property having lots of questions, answers.
yeah,
Uh, can you do that a little bit or pause a little bit? And I think that's the gloss repeats now
yeah,
using to make it equal by AI.
yeah,
Actual Q content on different page things is recommend. It's
yeah. For sure, right? Like for example, let's say all your solution pages, and again, like what you would see here, because now search has moved away from just doing a keyword search where the Google had enough money to go and index the content across the pages for all the sites. But now a lot of these new LLMs are just relying on high level, conversational content, because now the user is not just like typing in few keywords, but they're typing in the entire questions as a conversation, right? So for that, you have to have the SEO doesn't change, the EO doesn't change, the GEO doesn't change. They're all still subsets of SEO, just like how local SEO was. So I mean, this is what something which Google also confirms, and Google also has been indexing on, where they don't see any of this SEO and GEO as a separate thing, but something which is, if you do your SEO well, you already are doing GEO and stuff. And what we have been indexing on again is something which is built into the platform, where all of these FAQs, all of these help with coming up with the right content, how people are, again, like how your ICP is searching for your product and what questions would have. And this is optimized for each solutions or each product, right? For example, let's go back to Kwanzoo itself. Like if you look at any of these solutions, what you would see is like we've created like FAQs for every single page and every single product item, where these are the questions which are again very rooted to what your ICP would ask about Kwanzoo and what they want to know. And these are the ones which get indexed very differently in LLMs, and these are the ones which help your pages show up and rank high. So this is structured content is across still very valuable. Writing content for humans is still very valuable, and that's what this helps you do in a lot better way and a lot easier way, because again we understand the whole ICP, we understand the visitor behaviors, what they've done on the site, and what else to index on. Yeah. Lucy?
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Yeah, Lucy
Can
Money?
you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Yeah. No, no. So let's keep this new Kwanzoo site. I work our way towards launching the new site. So that's
Yeah.
But so we talked about your AI native. We talked about how you there's market so the we're actually going in and working with
Yeah.
your product. Cool. To market and the audience.
Yeah.
Now people look for discoverability is very important because of AI your stuff.
Yeah.
And I think some kind of that help you do the AI fast.
Yeah. And again, AI already
AI
suggests you based on what the content is, with what your ICP is, right? For example, it's I can if I would just like ask it to go and create a new page or create a new doc, it'll automatically understand based on what FAQs to add across for that particular page or for that particular integration or a solution and stuff. Yeah.
Got it. Now, can you talk about how you think about there's a whole
Yeah.
qualified acquired for
Yeah.
other tools out there, so taking a company and their product and solution, they use the coming into the website
Yeah.
and they flip over to it and turn the lead off the sales.
Right.
Have you think about charts? Are you going to have it?
Yes.
What do you think about it?
Yep, absolutely. And I feel that's where we want to also be very differentiated from across other chatbots. These chatbots need a knowledge base for them to understand, and these knowledge base is typically all your current web pages and stuff. And what they have to go through is all the markup and all the other things which are not needed and which are not needed for indexing, which don't add any value for it to be indexed in a certain way, right? So imagine what we do is we create a contextual graph, a dynamic context graph of the factual content across your site, right? Like who, what case studies, what industries, what testimonials you have. And imagine the chatbot can actually navigate the site. And because we own the whole platform, what we can also give the chatbot is the contextual information of what pages the user has visited, how much he has scrolled through the pages, what content he has not seen at all yet. And not just show this content in a chat, but imagine the chatbot can actually navigate the entire site for you, right? Like we have that in our dev environment, but I would love to show it when it's live. I don't want to spoil the surprise yet, but imagine the chatbot can actually not just thoroughly understand and continuously be updated across as soon as you update pages and stuff, but also be able to navigate and transform any of your forms into lead gens, right? Like where it can actually just understand these are the fields which I have to ask, and they need not be like the first form because that's the immediate turn off for any visitor, right? Like as soon as they see a form, they're like, I don't want to fill these forms. But imagine if that is progressive and the chatbot is able to navigate the site and ask for this information in a very sequential way, like a human would do, like how a SDR would do, right? Like across the site. And something which can work when you are sleeping, right? Like that's the best part. Something where a website is a GTM engine which runs when you're not awake and it's continuous. It doesn't have to be something which you have to manually update and tweak and stuff. Yeah.
So like
Yeah, we'll have that for Kwanzoo, yeah. Which will understand the visitor identity, which will understand, yeah.
that's amazing. So because it's like it's a chatbot with
Yeah. And continuous memory, like where you don't have to continuously go and index any of this information and the context information, right? Like because no other website builder has that access to what the visitor has done on the site, right? Like how much he has scrolled through the pages. Today, you can do that with multiple other integrations, right? Like by adding manual tags across the sections, across the pages, so that you know where the user has gone, and all of that make it very, clunky and not very reliable. But we, as a platform, the way we do it is in a very, very efficient way, so that chatbot again understands what pages you've gone through. Like for example, let's say if on our site, if the user has gone through like enterprise solutions, right? Like we know that these are enterprise customers, and only then we want to show them the high intent pop-ups or things which would actually help them convert, show them the right case studies, show them the pricing page, navigate to that pricing page, and show them the features which they would be interested as part of them being an enterprise. So that is again missing and drastically different, and we want to be really innovative in doing that as part of our platform.
I think as the
Yeah.
discussion, to think about you know broadly and the company in this
Yeah.
story. How do you think you built? What I'm seeing is that
Yeah.
all are in and outside.
Yeah.
Maybe one and solid platforms. I
Yeah.
get. So what do you see happening? How do you see the space evolving
Yeah.
into just in the web area per se?
Yeah. Yeah, and so I mean, honestly, not has lot been innovated in the whole website space in last 10 years, right? Everyone is just adding a chatbot on top, or like doing like bolting on chat GPT wrappers on top, just to give like some amount of content suggestions and whatnot. So and as you said, like there are other point solutions for you to generate like one or two pages or landing page and stuff. There is not one tool or not a one platform which does all of this together. DXP platforms in the past were promising that, but they never got there because that still needs a 250K dev fees to implement all of this, and a recommendation team or dev team again sitting with you to even suggest what content to go in, and like what content the visitors are actually liking, and have like ton of other machine learning algorithms run and suggest content based on what assets they should look at and all that stuff. So what we want to build at Pixelesq is something where it's again like an entire GTM engine, right? Like where it understands the visitors, where we are able to show them what they're doing and what the so recommendation engine at two levels, both for internal teams to continuously churn out right content which makes sense, and also recommendation engine for your visitors, right? Like dynamic one, which is something which you don't have to maintain and run a dev team for, but something built into the website itself. So it's not just like a static sites anymore. They are like living and breathing what we want to showcase and what we want to sell. Imagine what, like 12 months down the lane, the website is evolving itself by understanding what the users have done, and you have to just like orchestrate what you want to add, what more you want to do. But we want to get into hyper personalization, consolidating the entire martech stack, and again platforms like Kwanzoo help us would help us do this a lot, where we understand the visitors not just on the what they've done on the website, but also social channels and what they've done outside it, so that we can actually target and do hyper personalization on top as and when they're moving across the site. And let's say if we are able to show them the right CTA, show them the right case study while they're navigating the page. So it'll almost be like a self-publishing or auto-publish website which continuously runs and makes leads more intentful and make conversions better.
How do you think that who's the ideal person building using that? Is this designed for the end marketer? Marketer is it for the author? Is it for UX user? Or is it the product manager? Of users in there, who do you see as the primary user for your technology?
As a developer, I would say I love to use my own product, but I mean, so it is built for marketers, but I feel we have seen ton of positive sentiment from both developers and designers, because they don't want to go and meddle around creating new sections and stuff every day in, day out. They don't want to push pixels, right? Like, and I feel that's what we enabled our own teams when we built this ourselves, did, like where we freed up so much time for developers that they could go and build the actual part of the product, and they could actually go and build recommendation engines and what else is needed for us to scale, and not just like create new pages whenever there is a new case study to be added, new blog to be added, where they don't have to spend like 2-3 days. So the major difference and major love we are receiving is from the marketing teams who absolutely have seen this as a game changer, where they have really felt the difference of just adding. They were just mind blown whenever they saw like a new form could be added in like less than 30 seconds, and like new pages could be created by just adding a dropping in a doc or whatnot. I feel the marketing teams is where it is it is really making waves in some sense, and designers and developers are the byproduct, because marketing teams need not have developers and designers time, right? Like they should still set and build the product. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the range of interest that your customers from your website builder into whatever they are?
Yeah. So as much as I would love to have like no integrations, but we still have to have, and because we want to still focus on building the website and managing the visitors and stuff, we integrate with CRMs, with any kind of CRM, where because we don't want to reinvent the wheel for that side of things. That's not my like forte, if you may. So we integrate with all the CRMs, any CRM, right? Like be it Salesforce, be it Atio, be it HubSpot, Zoho, across, and we also integrate with the work tools, be it Slack or Linear. And again, this is very, very unique to what we do, where imagine most teams work across like Slack and Linear, and they are able to assign tasks instead of to a developer or a designer. They can assign a task to our Pixelesq agent, and that wraps up the work and gives you back a preview URL. And marketing team can just like review that and hit publish. That's what we have seen again, like which has received a huge interest across our marketing teams, across our customers. So those kind of integrations, wherever we want to make it as easy as managing email. Imagine as soon as the same email which you have to send it to a developer or a designer to create a new page, you just send it to our agent and that will build the page for you, and it will give you a review link in the same reply to your email. So that's where we want to head to, where it's as easy as managing your email. Right? Your website should be as easy as your email, where everything, every hidden complexity is taken care, right? Like you don't have to worry about SEO, accessibility, responsiveness. Yeah.
So I saw a lot of content format.
Yeah.
What is your take on video?
Yeah.
How is video interplaying with creating based weeks?
Yeah. I think the two I'll answer that in two folds. One, it's absolutely needed. I think now that everything is moving into multimodal and LLMs understand that thoroughly, I feel even Google has been indexing a lot more websites which are multimodal again, like which have good amount of content as text and videos, and Google loves YouTube videos and having a cross integration. So absolutely important to have great videos which actually add like a lot of value, which actually add lot of context. And the whole AI generated videos, I feel it's not there yet, but eventually we'll get there, where we will be able to generate videos which are at least your product demos and stuff, which you don't have to actively go and maintain. And we are again forefront of it, because we understand the whole image gen, we understand the video gen based on your ICP again, and what your brand guidelines is, and I am direct to show you. But the entire design system is also something which designers can tweak and actually control actively. So imagine as soon as the models get a little better, like be it Nano Pro or be it ChatGPT's new one, we will be at the forefront of creating these images also using AI or using AI videos and stuff. Yeah. But they're absolutely important.
Got it. So now, with we have, I think, 5 minutes left. Talk about your own GTM. How are you getting the web as a build?
Yeah.
Super excited about flipping technology.
Yeah.
Kwanzoo webs. Looking forward to that. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Market, how are you getting the word out about your new product?
So I would say we're still early, so we've not actively done any outbounds yet. But what we have seen a huge difference is by dog fooding our own product, right? Like where we have clearly seen how we have started ranking much higher than like Webflow and the Duda and Lovables of the world in AI native space, which is already like a huge kudos to us. I mean, I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet, but that has been the reality, and we show up on the first page.
Can you show? I think people.
Let's see. I mean, that does affect few things. Let's see. I think let me not go to the because
It's a
no, right here. Like this is because
I
it's
don't
a,
get
oh, I'm not sharing my screen, right? Am I sharing my screen?
not yet.
Oh, okay, my
You
bad.
want to?
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah. So okay, you guys are use doc product.
Yeah,
Make sure you guys early so that you actually
yeah,
show other web builders in search engine.
yeah. There you
And
go. And
that's a
this,
great tip for all the founders who are listening.
yeah.
They really should.
And this is if you just like the sponsored results and stuff, you can easily see how well we rank. And this you can do it in even on your no like incognito mode. Sorry. Yeah, so that has been one. The I feel the second one is been like attending these events, startup events across SF and showing our product, right? Like demos of our product have been very highly sought after, and people have come back multiple times to just like look at the demos of our product, and that has been our great conversion tool, if you may. And now we are also actually starting the biggest way of getting more customers has been the current customers actually talking about us to other businesses and recommending us because they have seen great results themselves and how easy it has been for them to manage the platform. So did we lose money? Sorry, Manny, I think we lost you. We'll just give money a minute or two to get back, I guess. And anyone listening, I'd be happy to answer any questions. And yeah, try us out whenever you get a chance, I think. Okay, there we go.
Can you see
We
me now?
can. Yeah.
My for those who are listening, actually, to close it down, maybe about just the what do you say following or
Yeah. I think I got the question. So yeah, I mean, you never know because at the speed which AI is moving, you can honestly never predict what happens in the next 6 months. Every new week, they have a new model, they have a new thing. But I honestly feel what needs to happen or what will happen next is consolidation across, because I think a lot of these point solutions will get consolidated into one product, and they are those are the ones which will actually stick, and those are the ones which will actually add value. Because I feel that will be the mode where it's not something which you can replace tomorrow, or something which can be easily like migrated off of or built separately as one time AI tool. and the systems which consolidate a lot of this, and like the next world CRMs which will have a ton of these signal based even visitor intent, and what you're building with Kwanzoo. I think a lot of this consolidation will greatly drive the next 6 months to 1 year. I think we have seen great innovation with AI, but the next 1 year or 2 year will be of consolidation and actually driving out value from it, where we have not seen that as much yet.
Yeah. So just to clear out, I know we're over time with you. Wait for them to learn more Pixelesq.
I would encourage them to try it out. And anyone who's losing their sleep on WordPress or Webflow, please reach us out. We'd be happy to not just migrate, we would be happy to transform your entire platform into a GTM engine which can run when you sleep. I mean, that's my closing statement, because that's what we want to build. Yeah.
Absolutely. That concludes episode of GTM Talks. For joining, we apologize because we saw towards the later part of the presentation. And we hope you join us again in the new year. We'll be early January, taking a break for next weekend, next Thursday. But time with the